Introduction to Networks Final Packet Tracer Skills Assessment, PTSA. In this assessment, you will configure the central RT router and central SW switch, as you have done in the activities in this course. You will also connect two PCs using a switch and a router that are in the main wiring closet. You will subnet the 172.16.1.0 prefix 24 network to provide IPv4 addresses for two subnets that will support the required number of hosts. The larger subnet, LAN 1, requires 60 hosts, and the smaller subnet, LAN 2, requires 20 hosts. Okay, one router, central router, one switch, central switch, two PCs, PCA and PCB, as you can see in the topology. LAN 1 with the switch and PCA, and LAN 2 with PCB. Router in the middle. Okay, addressing requirements table. The base network address, the base IPv4 address, LAN 1 60 hosts, LAN 2 20 hosts. Okay, for central router gigabit 001, you can see central router gigabit 001 for LAN 1 on this side. Use the first host address in LAN 1 subnet. And for central router gigabit 000, gigabit 000 on central router LAN 2, assign the first host address in LAN 2 subnet. Finally, the central switch on switch virtual interface use the second host address in LAN 1. Okay, the second host address in LAN 1 for the switch. Finally, user A, that is PCA, last host address in LAN 1 for PCA, and user B, that is PCB, last host address in LAN 2. PCB last host address on LAN 2 subnet. Okay, now build the network according to the logical topology by placing the required equipment in the wiring closet equipment rack. Okay. Okay, this is the router, this is the switch. Drag the router to the rack in the switch. Okay, they are connected to the power distribution device. So cable the network devices in the closet as shown in the topology diagram. Okay, use these cables, copper straight through cables. Okay. From gigabit 000 on R1 to PCB. Okay, this is PCB, user B. from gigabit 000 on router to PCB. Fast Ethernet 0 on PCB. That is user B. From gigabit 001 on router to Fast Ethernet 5 on switch. From gigabit 001 on router to Fast Ethernet 5 on switch. Okay. And from Fast Ethernet 6 on switch to PCA. Fast Ethernet 6 on switch to PCA. Okay, very nice. Gigabit 000 to Fast Ethernet on user B. Gigabit 001 on router to Fast Ethernet 5 on switch. Fast Ethernet 6 on switch to PCA. Connect the hosts as shown in the topology diagram. Okay, ready? Develop an IP addressing scheme. In this part of the assessment, you will develop IP addressing scheme. You will subnet an IPv4 network to create two subnets with the required number of hosts. You will also subnet an IPv6 network. You will then assign the addresses according to the requirements below. This is the base IPv4 address. Required number of hosts in IPv4 LAN 1, 60 hosts. Required number of hosts in IPv4 LAN 2, 20 hosts. Okay, the base IPv4 address 172.16.10. 172.16.10 prefix 24. Okay, this is the base IPv4 address. I will place the first two octets on decimal, 172 in decimal, 16 in decimal. Now the third octet in binary, 1 in binary. Okay, this is 1 in binary and 0. The fourth octet in binary, 0 in binary. Okay, 8 zeros. Very nice. So let's start with the largest number of hosts. LAN 1, you know, LAN 1, 60 hosts, and LAN 2, 20 hosts. Start with the largest number of hosts. Start with 60 hosts. So here on hosts, 62 is enough for 60. Okay, and color this section. Very good. Okay, remember on number of hosts 62 is very good. So color this part. Okay, and this is the network address. 172.16.10 in decimal. 172.16.10 in decimal. But the prefix is different. 8 plus 8, 16 plus 8, 24, 25, 26. 26 for network address of LAN 1. And to allow the broadcast, copy this part, the yellow section, copy, and fill the remaining spaces with ones. 1, 1, 1. Now this is the broadcast in binary. Now on decimal is 172.16.1, 172.16.1, and this number is 63. Okay, this number is 63. Okay. Okay, you know, if this is 64, this is 63. (32) plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, 63. Use the same prefix 26. The same prefix 26. Very nice. And the first IP host on LAN 1 is the one next to the network. If the network is 10, the first IP host is 172.16.1.1. The next to the network, and the last IP host is one before the broadcast. If broadcast is 163, last IP host is 172.16.1.62. The same prefix. Okay, go to the next network, LAN 2. Okay. Allow the next number to this 172.16.000000010. Okay. If you have 6 ones in binary, the next number is 1 followed by 6 zeros. Okay. The next number of 6 ones in binary is 1 followed by 6 zeros. So this is the next number on binary, but you need 20 hosts. Here on host 30 is very good for 20 hosts. So you can color this section, and this is the network address 172.16.1.64. 172.16.1.64. Okay, now you can see the next number of the previous broadcast is 164. Okay, the broadcast of LAN 1 is 163, so the network address of LAN 2 is 164. But the prefix is different: 8, 16, 24, 25, 26, 27. The prefix is 27. Okay. Okay, and now allow the calculate the broadcast. Copy this yellow section, copy, and fill the remaining spaces with ones. Okay, 5 ones. And this is the broadcast address 172.16.1, 172.16.1, and this number is 64 plus 31. 64 plus 31. Okay, is 95. 64 plus 31 is 95. 95 prefix 27. Okay. Okay, 64 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 95. Okay, very nice. And the first IP host on LAN 2 is 1 next to the network. If network is 164, first host is 165, the same prefix. And last IP host is 1 before the broadcast. If broadcast is 195, last IP host on LAN 2 is 194. Okay, very nice. Okay, this is done. Very good. Record your subnet assignments according to the following requirements. Assign the first IP4 address of each subnet to a router interface. LAN 1 is hosted on central router gigabit 001. LAN 2 is hosted on central router gigabit 000. As you can see in the topology, gigabit 000 belongs to LAN 2 and gigabit 001 belongs to LAN 1. Okay, assign the last IPv4 address of each subnet to the PC NIC. Okay, last host addresses to PCA and PCB on each subnet. Assign the second IPv4 address on LAN 1 on central switch. Switch virtual interface. Okay, LAN 1, switch 1 belongs to LAN 1 and we'll use the second IPv4 address on LAN 1. Okay, configure basic device settings. Network devices must be configured over a direct console connection. Okay, use a console connection. First, configure the central RT router. So use this light blue cable, the console cable, and connect from any PC, in this case PCA, port RS-232, and connect to console on the router. Okay, the console connection from PCA port RS-232 to console port on central router. Okay, click on the PC and the PC is power off. Okay, click here. Okay, now the PC is on and click here on the power switch on the router. Okay, now is power on. Switch is power on by default. Okay, click on the PC, go to terminal. Okay, port configuration by default. Okay, enter. Okay, this is the prompt. User exit mode. Now enable, enter. Now you are on privileged exec mode. Configure terminal. You are on global configuration mode. Disable DNS lookup on the router and on the switch. Okay, I will configure only the router, then I will configure the switch. Click on the PC, disable DNS lookup, no IP domain lookup. Configure the router hostname. Okay, use this central-rt case sensitive, central-rt, enter. Configure the switch. I will do it later, and configure an appropriate banner on central router and switch. Banner message of the day. Unauthorized access is prohibited. Okay, this is the message. Very nice, enter. Allow console logins with the password. Use this password. Okay, with online console. Okay, line console 0. There is only one console port, so that's why the number is only 0. Enter. Use password. Use C, this character, NSP uppercase, ASSW, exclamation mark. Okay, be careful, the password should be the same. Case sensitive. Enter. And login to permit the login access to the console. Very nice, exit. Configure interfaces. Configure central router gigabit 000 and 001 interfaces using the addressing from the previous part of this assessment. Okay, and gigabit 001 on LAN 1 and gigabit 000 on LAN 2. Okay, and this will be the device interface, and this will be the IPv4 address. And on router on central RT gigabit 001 and gigabit 000. Okay, gigabit 001 on LAN 1, gigabit 001 on LAN 1. Use the first IP. According to the requirements, use the first IP. So copy this. Okay, use the first IP on LAN 1 for gigabit 001 on central router. And gigabit 000 belongs to LAN 2. Also use the first IP host on this subnet to gigabit 000 on central router. So copy this. Okay, one prefix 26 for gigabit 001 and 65 prefix 27 for gigabit 000. Very nice. And don't forget the switch belongs to LAN 1. Central switch and the switch virtual interface. Okay, for central switch, use the second IP host on LAN 1. Okay, S1, the switch belongs to LAN 1. The switch belongs to LAN 1. LAN 1, and copy this. Use the second. Okay, so the IP for the switch will be 172.16.1.2 prefix 26. And now PCA and PCB. PCA belongs to LAN 1 and PCB belongs to LAN 2. And use last host addresses. Okay, first IP for router, second for switch. For PCs, use last hosts. PCA belongs to LAN 1 and use the last, copy this last IP host. For PCB belongs to LAN 2, use the last IP host, copy this. Okay, very nice. This is very good. Okay, to configure this on the router, click on the PC, interface gigabit 001. Okay, use a description and the IP address and subnet mask. Description, for example, LAN 1. Remember, gigabit 001 belongs to LAN 1. Enter IP address. Use this 172.16.1.1 prefix 26. 172.16.1.1 prefix 26 is 255, 255, 255, 192. Okay, in decimal 26 ends with 192. Now shut down. Enter. And now configure interface gigabit 000. Okay, up arrow to repeat previous commands. The description will be LAN 2. Okay, for gigabit 000 description LAN 2. For gigabit 000 description LAN 2. And the IP address will be 165 prefix 27. 165 prefix 27 is 224. Okay, 165 27 is this, ends with 224. Enter. Now shut down. Very nice. Okay, then exit. Now you are on global configuration mode again. Okay, very nice. And repeat all steps for the switch. Configure basic device settings. Use console connection, but now connect to the switch. Right click. Okay, right click on the switch, inspect rear. Okay, this is the console port on the switch. Drag this console connection from the router to the switch. Drag this. Now you are connected. Now you are connected from the console port on the switch to the PCA. Now you are connected from the console port on the switch to the PCA RS-232 port. Okay, click on the PC, close the terminal, open again. Port configuration by default, okay. Enter. Enable. You are on privilege exit mode. Configure terminal. You are on global configuration mode. Disable DNS lookup. No IP domain lookup. Configure the host name for the switch central-swk sensitive. Host name central-swk sensitive. Enter. Enter. Configure the banner on central switch. Banner message of the day. Unauthorized access is prohibited. Enter. Allow console logins with the passwords. Line console 0 password. Be careful. See this character. NSP uppercase pass W exclamation mark. Be careful. Enter and login. Don't forget login to permit login and exit. Configure interfaces. Central switch LAN 1 switch virtual interface. Interface VLAN 1 on the switch. Description. Management. For example, management interface. For example, IP4 address and subnet mask. Remember, for switch 172.16.1.2 prefix 26. IP address 172.16.1.2 prefix 26 that ends with 192. Enter. The switch should be reachable from devices on other networks. Okay, before to do this, not shut down to enable the interface. Not shut down. Okay, very nice. Okay, VLAN 1 change it state to up. Okay, exit, and on global configuration mode, the switch should be reachable from devices on other networks. So that means configure the default gateway. IP default gateway. And what is the default gateway for switch? Is gigabit 001 on R1. Gigabit 001 on R1 is this 172.16.11. 172.16.11, the default gateway for the switch. Enter. Configure security settings on central router and central switch. Configure enhanced password security. Configure this password. This is a secret as the encrypted privilege exit password. Okay, do this for router and switch. Okay, connect the. I will start with router. Right click on the switch, inspect rear. This is the console port, the console connection. Change this to the router. So drag the cable and connect to the console on the router. Okay, connect on the router. Very nice. Now you are connected from the PC to the router using console connection. Click on the PC, close terminal, open again. Okay. Okay, enter. You are on the router, central router. Okay, configure this password as the encrypted privilege exit password. enable secret. So that's why it's encrypted. Use secret keyword and use this password. Okay, this is the enable password. Case sensitive T uppercase. This is S uppercase secret. Okay, this is secret. Very nice. Enter. Encrypt all plain text passwords. Service space password dash encryption. Enter. Set minimum password length to 10 characters on central router. Security passwords min length 10. Very nice. Okay, I will repeat this on switch later. Configure SSH on central router and central switch. Okay, the domain name should be netsec.com. IP domain dash name netsec.com. Be careful with the name netsec.com. Configure a local user netadmin with the encrypted password, this password. Okay, username, the local username, the name is netadmin. Be careful, netadmin space with encrypted password. So use secret, and use this password. Okay, case sensitive. C uppercase, E this character, CO 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, be careful with this password. Review C uppercase, E character, CO 1 2 3 4 5. Enter. Set login on BTY Labs to use local database. Okay, go to line BTY 0 to 15. Okay, from 0 to 15 you have 16 connections. Okay, login local. So use this local username and password. So that's why you are using login local, and accept SSH access only. Transport input SSH. Now generate an RSA crypto key using 1024-bit modulus. Okay, exit, and on global configuration mode, generate crypto key generate RSA general keys modulus 1024 bits. Enter. Very nice. SSH enabled. Okay, and these configurations are for switch. So repeat all for the switch. Okay, configure security settings on central switch. Configure enhanced password security. Okay, change the console connection to the switch. Right click on the switch. Inspect rear. This is the console port. Drag the cable. Drag the connector from the router to the console port on the switch. Now you are connected from PC to the switch using console connection. Click on the PC, close the terminal, open again. Okay, you are on central switch. Enter and configure the encrypted privilege exit password. Enable secret. Be careful, this is a secret. Okay, this is a secret. Enter. Encrypt or plain text passwords. Service password dash encryption. Okay, this is only for central router. Do not do this on the switch. SSH, IP domain, username and password, IP domain dash name, netsec.com, username, netadmin, be careful, secret is C, I, character, okay, C uppercase, I, this character, CO, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, enter. BTY lines, local database, SSH, and the crypto key, line BTY 0 to 15, sorry, line BTY 0 to 15, login local to use this local username and password, and permit only SSH transport, input SSH, exit, and on global configuration mode, generate the crypto key generate RSA general dash keys modulus 1024 bits. Enter. OK, very nice. SSH enable. And on switch, secure switch ports on central switch. Shut down all unused ports on central switch. Okay, the only ports used on central switch are fast Ethernet 5 and fast Ethernet 6. So shut down all remaining ports. Interface range. Okay, remember you are on central switch. Fast Ethernet from 1 to 4 because 5 and 6 are used. And from 7 to 24 and gigabit 1 and 2. Okay, shut down the range of ports from 1 to 4, 5 and 6 in use, 7 to 24 and gigabit 1 and 2. Enter. Shut down. Okay, very nice. And you can see the range of ports shut down. Enter descriptions for all unused switch ports to indicate that they are intentionally shut down. Okay, description. Intentionally shut down. Enter. Exit. Very good. Configure the host and verify connectivity. Okay. Remember, for user A or PCA, last host address on LAN 1. For PCB, last host address on LAN 2. Okay, click on PCA, close the terminal, open IP configuration, review your table. PCA should be 172.16.1, 62 prefix 26. 62 prefix 26. 172.16.1, 62 prefix 26. 255.192. And the default gateway, don't forget, if PCA is on LAN 1, the default gateway is gigabit 001 on R1. So the address of gigabit 001 on R1 is 172.16.11. 172.16.11. Okay, and click on PCB. PCB is shut down, is power off. Click here to power on the device. Click on the PC, go to IP configuration, and the IP address of PCB is 172.16.1, 94 prefix 27. 172.16.1, 94 prefix 27 is ends with 224, and the default gateway for PCB is gigabit 000. The default gateway for PCB is gigabit 000. That should be 165. 172.16.165. Very nice. And don't forget, verify connectivity. Okay, and verify connectivity. So access, for example, PCA, close IP configuration, command prompt, ping the switch 1. The IP address of the switch is 172.16.1.2, 172.16.1.2. And very nice, success. Ping gigabit 001 on R1. Ping gigabit 001 on R1 is 172.16.1.1. Ping 172.16.1.1. Okay, very nice, success. And gigabit 000 on R1. Gigabit 000 on R1 is 65. Up arrow to repeat previous commands. Okay, 65. Enter. Very nice. And finally, ping PCB end to end from PCA to PCB. PCB IP address is 94. Okay, very nice. And finally, from PCB, you can ping switch 1. Okay, go to PCB, click on PCB, close IP configuration, command prompt, ping 172.16.1.2. This is the IP address of switch, enter. This should work because the switch is configured with the default gateway. Okay. Okay, very nice. You can repeat, enter, very good, success. So the default gateway on the switch is very good. Okay, I don't have information for IPv6 addressing. You will also subnet an IPv6 network. So I don't have IPv6 information. So in this kind of assessment, you will not have IPv6 configurations. So finally, I will save the configurations on networking devices. Okay, first on the switch. Remember, PCA is connected to the console port on the switch. Go to PCA, close the command prompt, open terminal. Okay, you are connected to the central switch, and on privilege exec mode, do the following: copy running -config to start up -config. Enter. Okay, and do this also on the router. Right click on the switch, inspect rear, drag the console cable to the router console port. Now you are connected from the PCA to console port on router. Close terminal, open again. Okay, you are on the router, central router. Enter. I need a password for the console. Remember, the password for console is this. Okay, C, the character, NS, P uppercase, A, S, S, W, exclamation mark, enter. Very nice. You are on user exec mode. Enable. I need the enable password. But the enable password is this is a secret. The uppercase is uppercase. this is a secret. Enter. Very nice. And on privilege exit mode, copy running-config to startup-config. Enter. Very nice. Okay, thank you very much.